Welcome to the Liberty International Network training series, Extracting Audio Clips from CD Discs. During this training series, we're going to walk through using the Goldwave tool and using that tool to actually extract MP3s off of a audio CD disc. The first thing you want to do in order to extract audio MP3s off of a CD is to, of course, put the CD into the computer drive, and if any default program starts up which attempts to play the CD, you want to stop that. I've already inserted this in the computer for this training session, so once you have the disc inserted into the tool, you then open up Goldwave. Now, if you don't have a Goldwave icon in your start menu or somewhere convenient, you can always find it in the Programs menu under Windows 7 or All Programs under Windows XP and under Programs for Windows Vista. Okay? It's the Goldwave tool. If you do not have Goldwave installed, send us an email at itg@libertytemple.org and we'll get the software installed on your desktop. Okay, let's go forward. In order to extract audio from a CD, the first thing you want to be aware of is that a CD, especially audio CDs, normally have multiple audio tracks. So, track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. And on the CD, those tracks usually have titles. But when you use Goldwave to extract audio or an MP3 from a CD, the titles do not get transferred to Goldwave. So you're going to have to manually change the track title for the files that you want to save, and we'll walk through that. Okay, the first step is inside of Goldwave, click the Tool menu. Under the Tool menu, you will see an option that says CD Reader. This is the option inside of Goldwave that allows you to extract audio files from a CD. So we want to click CD Reader, which we've done there. Then what you'll see is the CD Reader dialog box. Within this box, you have a couple of items. Number one, the selected CD device. Now this points to an optical drive on the computer that you're working with where Goldwave is installed. So it has the drive letter there and then the name of the drive and some information about the drive. The next thing you see is 3 tabs: Read Tracks, Read Time Range, and Options. Here's the difference between the first 2 tabs. Read Tracks allows you to record individual tracks from the audio CD. Once again, as we stated at the beginning, a music CD normally has multiple songs on it, for instance. The Read Time Range tab allows you to actually take a single CD and record all of the tracks on the CD into one single file. The scenario where you might want to do this is if you have, let's say, a message that you want to, take the audio CD that you have and actually create an MP3 in order to upload to the LIM Media Manager so that users can stream so we can sell it as a digital product. That may be one reason you want to record the entire CD from start to finish under one file. For this first step, let's do this. I'm going to unselect all of the tracks, and I'm just going to select track 1. Now let's say you can see that the track name here is just track 01. That isn't, very informative to somebody you may give this track to. So what I recommend is if you're going to save single tracks, like let's say you're saving MP3s from a music CD, what I recommend is that you actually change these names to the actual name of the track on the CD. And you can get that maybe from the CD sleeve, or sometimes they're printed right on the disc. Okay? In order to change this name, you simply click the name, click it again to open up the editor, and type in, the name of the track. So we'll put this is audio track 1. Okay, so we're just changing the name of that track from the default, which is track 01, 02, 03, and so on, to the actual name of the file. Once you do that, let me mention the options tab. You don't really have to do anything on the options tab, so I do not recommend changing any of the options there, okay? So once you change your tracks and you're ready to save, if you want to save single audio tracks, the next thing you do is click Save. Now when you click Save, the Goldwave program is going to open up the Save CD Tracks dialog box. In the Save CD Tracks dialog box, the destination folder is very important because once you click OK, the program is going to automatically begin to save your files, and if you are not aware of where this folder is, you're not going to be able to find your files. So what I recommend is actually creating a folder for music that you're familiar with and that you can find relatively easy. The computer by default has a music folder, so you can put them there if you like, but just make sure you know how to get to the music folder. I'm going to leave the music folder, the default here for this training exercise. I'm not going to change the location of the folder, and then we'll take a look at how to find the file afterwards. The next thing that's important is the file type. Goldwave allows you to save files in multiple file formats. MP3 is the most universally used format for audio files. And so, if you need a file that is usable on the internet, I do recommend using MP3. There are other audio file options, but MP3 is the most ideal because it can be used by the most computer types, programs, cell phones, tablets, things of that nature. Under the Save as Type dialog box or the drop down, you want to make sure you select MP3. If you do not select MP3, the program by default is going to save the file as a WAV file. This is important for the Liberty International Network because our streaming media servers do not stream WAV files. The servers only stream MP3 files or WMA files. Okay, you can see the Windows Media Audio file here and the MP3 file here. So either one of those two formats are appropriate for streaming, but the WAV format and any of these other formats are not appropriate for streaming, okay? Okay, so once you've chosen the MP3 format, you can click OK, and the program will automatically begin saving your files. Now, if you want to arrange these audio files in a folder that represents the name of the CD, you can add a slash here, and this is a backslash, not a forward slash. And you can, type a common name. My first CD. And then when you click OK, if the folder does not exist, it'll ask you to create the folder. You can simply say yes. And then the program will start saving your track, as you can see here. The Save CD Tracks dialog box gives you a progress bar that goes from 0 to 100% for each individual file that you're saving. And so since I'm only saving one file, you see overall I've completed 0 of 1. If I was saving 10 tracks, this would be 10 of 1. And then 0 of 10. And then after the first track finished, it would be 1 of 10, 2 of 10, and so on. As each track is saved, you can watch the progress. There's one thing I do want to mention about saving audio tracks. It is a process that is resource intensive, and what that means is it has the potential to slow down your computer while Goldwave is saving the tracks. So if you're going to do this and you have multiple tracks or you want to do a whole CD, I recommend that you do it during a time when you can actually walk away from the PC and do something else, okay? Because it will slow down the other programs on your computer. So our file is 3/4 done and it's approaching its way to 100%. What we want to do after this finishes is actually open up Windows Explorer and find this file. And once again, we used the default music folder, and under the music folder, we created a new folder called My First CD. So we're done. You can see here that you have a process message that tells you that the audio track 1.mp3 is complete. Once that's done, you can press OK there, and then you can close the CD reader box. Okay? Now, if for instance I wanted to record the whole CD, it's very simple. I don't have to do anything. All I have to do is choose the right tab, which is the Read Time Range tab, and click Save. That will save the whole CD in one file. And what you'll notice is that we have a slightly different save dialog box here. It's not the same dialog box. And so in this dialog box, when you're saving the entire CD to one file, the first thing you want to do is choose the folder. On the left-hand side, you have some quick links that allows you to navigate to folders quickly. So what I recommend if you're using Windows 7 is click Libraries. Once you click Libraries, double-click Music, and then if you want to create a new folder, this button here, you can see the tooltip there. This button is used to create a new folder. You can create your new folder, My New Folder. Just click off of it and then double click to go into the new folder, and make sure the folder name that you want to save the music file is displayed in the Save In area of this dialog box. Add a name for the file. Then you choose of course, the MP3 file format or the WMA file format, and then you simply click Save. That will save the contents of the entire CD to an MP3 file. And then once that's done, you'll have a new MP3 file. Now let's open up Windows Explorer and see if we can find the file that we actually created. We only created one track, and so we'll find that file. We know that it was saved in the default music folder, so I'm going to click that folder. And I named my folder My First CD. And so here's my folder, My First CD. If I double click that folder, under that folder I can see that I have This Is Audio Track 1.mp3, which is the name that I replaced or used to replace the track 01 default file name. Okay. That's it. That's how you save MP3s from an audio CD that you've inserted into your computer. This is the Liberty International Network training series, extracting audio MP3s from a physical audio CD using the Goldwave tool. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great evening.